Hey people, Indrid here, 3v3, Catherine Purification Plant, blue team. SchmusCriminal with a Mekboy, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat with a bunch of orky gadgets, looks like the Freebooters DLC. SchmusCriminal taking a while to get his unit going there. Alongside is 24 and a Lord General fighting in ranged combat, begins with a retinue. Really strong defense and support can also add to his retinue throughout the game. And rounding off the team, Piluco and a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist, can infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support already sneaking around. Red team, Centzontotchtin and a Chaos Sorcerer, an offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control, fighting in melee. Not seen Centzontotchtin around for a while, always nice to see players return. Alongside is Widow and a Force Commander, a versatile frontline hero with powerful offense, disruption and support for the Emperor. And we have some Imperial Fists elite scheme. Rounding off the teams then, Jeff and an Apothecary, support hero fighting in melee combat by default. Begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Mekboy just teleported away. SchmusCriminal did eventually get double shooters up. Double Sentinels for 24. Been a while since we've seen double Sentinels running around. Double Termagants for Piluco. Orks, I think, took a Doom Bolts there and ran off. Heretics into the back lines, but they're taking too much damage. We just saw a Heretic get consumed there by the Sorcerer. Another Doom Bolts, but it misses. CSM perhaps should have been sent into melee there against the Termagants, but they're doing okay, shooting up this Lictor Alpha. There's a Doom Blast just to suppress him. A Doom Blast explodes one of your Heretics to deal damage around them and suppress units. Very, very handy. Force Commander's pushed all the way through the mid, but is being frustrated by the double Sentinels here. Here's more Guardsmen from 24 to help repair the Sentinels. Did you lose one of your retinue? Maybe. What's going on west side? You have Burner Sluggers, Mekboy on capping duty. Are you going to grab the VP, lads? Nope, Apothecary's here. He's got his scouts and his tactical marines. Double tactical marines here for Widow. Into some more scouts, it seems. Noise marines on the way for Centzontotchtin. Wants to get on this power, on this kind of resource lane on the east side. Very good against the double Termagants as well. Can also use the Cacophony to mess with the Lictor Alpha and disrupt him. So the Guard are now pushing through the mid onto the contested power point. Widow got back here pretty quick though with these second tactical marines. Wonder why we have double scouts. Oh, there we go. Because of sniper rifles. To try and burst damage down those Sentinels. He'll have double Kraken bolts on the tacks for extra damage against heavy infantry armor, which is what these Sentinels use despite being vehicles. And then I assume double snipers, yet, to help deliver some burst damage and get those Sentinels down. We'll see if it works. Force Commander can battle cry and buff them as well, maybe even use for the Emperor. Here is that sniper rifle. It is a setup weapon, but the setup is quite quick compared to like a heavy bolter. You still need to be mindful of it though. Generally you want to shoot and then move and shoot and then move. Even if you don't necessarily need to move, it's nice to be mobile in case you do really need to move. The shooter boy is getting quite low, but they're able to retreat. I feel like SchmusCriminal is trying to... Oh, they died. He's trying to rush tier 2. Not upgrading the shooter boys at all. No war gear here. Does have the burners. Mekboy gets away safely. Assault squad on the field now for Jeff. How are we going here with these double snipers and those tacks? They're trying to move up to the Sentinels, but he keeps backing them off 24. Might be a good idea to use the Lord General to tie up one of those scouts or one of the tacks. He's taking losses though, trying to reinforce Nigel and Derek. Assault squad jumping in from the west side. 24 now needs to back off. Does he have the stomps? Has a stomp on one of the Sentinels. It's going to be very risky to try and approach Widow's ranged force with the stomp though, because those sniper rifles have really long range. And it might mean you can't back off effectively. Purification rights on the field now for Apothecary in his accessory slot. So he's got that knockback on heal. Lictor Alpha does have Pheromone, and the Noise Marines are on the power. They have a Sonic Blaster that can shake apart structures. Also heavily damage infantry, especially light infantry, and disable their weaponry. It is quite short range though, and they're going to be a prime target for the Lictor Alpha's Flesh Hook. If you can just Flesh Hook the fellow with the Sonic Blaster, They lose a whole bunch of their utility. Just 2 fellas left with their bolt guns. War banners. One of them goes down. Here comes some sluggers though with Storm Boys. So much for rushing tier 2. Storm Boys are in play. And these guys have power melee choppers. And of course can jump on you. Bad news for the tax. In tier 2 they can get a big knob leader who can stun you on landing. Sentinels being repaired in the mid. We have our artillery spotters to help deal with this ranged force of Widow. It's got to be Sacred Standard tier 2, right? To buff all that damage. Maybe even get some Stern Guard as well. Is that overkill? I don't think so. You can do everything with a bunch of tax and Stern Guard, right? Do they both have Stomp now? No, only one has Stomp still. Tier 2 for 24. Tier 2 for all of the red team though as well. 426 to 451. Very even on the VPs. What's going on east side? Have a Warrior Brood with Barbed Strangler. Can help control the movement of those Noise Marines. If they can't get close, they can't shoot. You also have... Oh, there's a Doom Bolts. Good hit. Also have some Crippling Poison available from the Toxin Sacks. And it's double melee heretics here, so choosing what units to use the Crippling Poison and the Barbed Strangler on are going to be vital here for Piluco. Looks like this fight is going okay. Lictor Alpha doing a good job holding things up as it gets suppressed. And he's got that Pheromone Cloud. Looks like he chucked it on the Warrior Brood, but it didn't need to be reinforced in the end. Sends things retreating. CSM don't have Eternal War yet. Maybe he could get on the power. Meanwhile, on the west side, Storm Boys be chasing. Assault Squad dropped a model. Had a bit of an awkward jump there though, so they couldn't really get any melee attacks in, which often happens with Storm Boys, it seems, since they're a jump squad that has multiple models, not just, well, more models than Assault Squad, with only 3 and Raptors and stuff, and Interceptors. These guys have 5 models, so they tend to get disoriented a bit more and lose their coherency. Sluggers trying to burn down gens, but they're taking damage. Need to be careful with those snipers around. They are able to get away. Storm Boys trying to run interference, but they also run themselves. Node is down and 1 gen down. Looks like that's all they got. Might need to repair this stuff though. Assault Squad reinforced back out into the field. Apothecary's not here to heal them though. Oh, he's down. Apothecary was down in that big fight. Oh, we have a Teleporter Force Commander with Thunderhammer. Okay. So much for Sacred Standard. Also has Artificer Armor, so fully kitted out. Needs to pay for that investment now. He's still level 1, this guy. There's a revive, and he's level 2. There we go. 2-to-1 cap for the blue team. 24 now with double missile launcher sentinels, and that can be vicious. Yeah, that would have been really nasty if those guys weren't retreating there. They can use frag missiles for anti-infantry, which you saw there, and crack missiles for larger targets. And if you can manage the Sentinels, which 24 has done really well so far, they can be pretty awesome. Chaos Dreadnought on the way for Centzontotchtin and Librarians for the 2 Space Marine players. It's a lot of damage. Are they going to take another hit? They are able to get away. I mean, it's spread damage, so it's nice to have other damage around to take individual models off. But you can get stuff really low. Okay, there's Pheromone. Lictor Alpha's down. Some Toxin, Crippling Poison went in there. Formagaunt's able to chase off the Noise Marines, but it's double Heretics chasing them. And that Barbed Strangler shot didn't hit them. Seems slightly unlucky. Sorcerer's harassing the Warriors, and here comes 24 to assist. Rotating to the east with Plasma Guardsman. And a Sniper Rifle Lord General for fire on my target. Boosting the range of these Guardsmen with their plasma guns. Well, these guys don't have plasma guns yet. You also get... Yeah, his retinue gets snipers these days as well, which is quite handy. There's that Dreadnought with an autocannon. Can they get on the power here? They can. Double cracks. Nope, Sentinels are not firing. There we go. Using their crack missiles against those buildings. Back to the west side. 2v1 against SchmusCriminal. Storm Boys have their knob leader, but he's one of the only fellas to get away there. Mekboy goes down. Thunderhammer Force Commander's doing work. Level 3 now. Messing up those looters. Weird Boy is on the field. How are we going over here? Oh, Blastmaster time. Dang it. I think that was Nigel. No, that was Derek. Derek is down. Missile's doing work. Level are these Sentinels? They're still both level 1 as well. Might see them switch to crack to harass the Dreadnought a bit. There's a lot of Sentinel micro for 24 to do alongside his other units. Does he have Plasma on both now? Yeah, Plasma's on both of those Guardsman squads with their Commissars and stuff. So they're doing some good damage against heavy infantry, such as most of the red team. Librarian with his fancy staff and some power bashing on the southwest side. Can Schmooze defend? There's 2v1 still. Here comes 24 to assist. Can he stomp that Librarian maybe? No, he can't. Like, the Force Commander comes teleporting in. He's trying to focus him down now. Okay, Force Commander's off the field. Smite from the Librarian. Force barrier to mess with those guys. Storm Boys, Warp Vomit going on over here. Knob Leader went down of the Storm Boys. Sluggers are piling through though. There's that Purification Rites heal. Can they get a Merciless as well? No, they jumped. Purification Rites into Merciless is a nice chain knockback you can do. Apothecary, the customized Storm Bolter now. Lord General got very low. He got stunned by something. What was that? Not sure what he got stunned by. Another Force Barrier messing with those Guardsmen. But they're okay. Weird Boy took a bunch of damage, but he's alive with bigger brains. He needs to get some energy back. He needs to be around his Orc buddies while they use their War. Bye-bye, Scouts. Wow, indeed. The Weird Boy's got an amazing basic attack. And they were knocked down and got hit by all the double missile volley. And they super died. Up the east side, pushing through is Piluco, has a Tyrant Guard, which I'm sure helped a great deal. Being pushed back now, though, and we have Mark of Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines. They'll be very effective against this Tyrant Guard, which has super heavy infantry armor. What about you guys? You got a Plasma Gun? Nope. No Plasma Gun on the way. Nice play there from the Lictor Alpha. Jumped in with Assault Leap and then scythed all those guys. Can he make it out? Only level 2. 2 hit points and he gets away. Well played, Piluco. Back to the west side. Artillery spotters are busy capping. A Storm Boy's been aggressive. Got a good jump there. Straight onto Devastators. The Plasma Devs got them out of there. What level are those Storm Boys? Level 1. Does the Mekboy have battery pack or something? No battery pack. Has a custom force field so he can disrupt stuff himself. Here comes 24. And that all that ranged firepower he's got. Force Commander comes in though. Because you're kind of encouraged to blob a bit to get the fire in my target buff going. And the Force Commander comes in and knocks you around. He's got Flak Jacket too for incoming. Such a great piece of war gear, I think. 30% damage resist and immunity to weapon knockback. Very strong. Means you, again, are encouraged to blob your units a bit to get all those buffs going, and that can be exploited, of course. Sluggers exploding randomly. What was that? Oh, was it a plasma cannon shot, maybe? Or a Librarian shot? He's got a decent ranged attack with his 4 staff. 35 piercing, that's more than a Tech Marine. 2-to-1 cap for the blue team, and tier 3 for 24, tier 3 for Piluco. Widow and Jeff are already there. There's SchmusCriminal going tier 3 also. Did he get a mark on the Dreadnought? It's Mark of Tzeentch. Against Tyranids over there. Not what you'd expect to see. Maybe he wants to use that Frenzied Barrage to suppress the Tyranid blob. And it'll be useful against the Tyrant God, I guess. Oh, it jumped in. Got messed up by something. What was that effect? Is there a Primaris Cycle? No. Oh, it's just Veil of Time. I was confused because they stopped dead. It's like they were locked in place by some ability. I'm not sure what happened there. Was it just a weird staggered jump that I didn't see? 350, 250 on the VPs. Force Commander's been aggressive. Now we're going to get shot up a lot. He's shrugging it off quite well. Level 4. Goes straight after the Mekboy. He tries to knock him over. Okay, battle cry wore off. He couldn't knock him over while he was getting back, while I was battle crying. Storm Boys have found some scouts and then eat a plasma cannon shot. Need to run, I think. They're not running. They still have all of their models. Librarian takes one down and he gets that inspiration on kill. 344 to 250. I think blue team can push back now. The plasma cannon's a bit of a bother. Over there from the Weird Void, chucking those guys in. And then they got shot a bit and had to run. 332 to 250. Tier 3 now for Centzontotchtin. What have we got over here? Level 3 Sorcerer. Demon armor for the demonic shield. What are you guys? Level 2. Some repairs for that dreadnought. I guess it just got crunched on by this fella. Unless there was a venom brood drop or something that I missed. Which doesn't sound like me. There's the pheromone to reinforce these guys. Also debuffs enemies, which is handy. Terminator's on the field now for Jeff. Storm Bolters and Power Fist. Just saw them get a kill. And he saw that little burst of inspiration. And they are getting an assault cannon. Can use that to pick off guardsmen quickly for inspirations and also suppress them. Plasma cannon. Decent hit on the Lord General. That was the heavy mortar shell from the artillery spotters. Storm Boys found some isolated attacks, but they themselves get counter-jumped by the assault squad. 325 to 250. Yeah, they got knocked back a bunch by Merciless Strike and then the Purification Rites heal. Look at the inspirations from the Terminators. Killing models so quickly with the assault cannon. 322 to 250. We would like to see the heavy flamer maybe used, but the short range makes it much riskier to use. It does have a librarian though. Really nice to see them teleport in and try to burn a bunch of stuff, and then get even infinitied out again. Current guard is going to go down here. Yeah, Marco Zinch CSM and that Zinch Dreadnought doing some good work. Can they get the Lictor Alpha down? They can. Mormagaunts are in there. Double Heretics fighting them and leveling up as they do so. Seemed like a good engagement for Centzontotchtin. The Sorcerer also got away. And now they can power bash. And look at the float from Centzon. We might be seeing a great unclean one here. Going to take down that capillary tower first. On the west side, meanwhile, we have a bunker. Looks like a medical bunker. You can see the health regen aura on these guys, that green hexagon. And they can reinforce off that. Jump inside of it if they need to as well. Sentinel getting very low, good grief. Might be worth getting a repair bunker as well. There's a Baneblade from 24. Big old super heavy tank for the guard with many guns. Mega battle cannon on the top. There's a demolisher cannon. Heavy bolters that can suppress and las cannons. It's got them all. It's very vulnerable to heavy melee units that can get on the rear armor and crack it open. Land Raider Redeemer back there too. Oh wow. Marines getting wrecked. Assault squad almost wiped. In fact, those are Vanguard veterans almost wiping. Blue team getting the cap going now. Land Raider Redeemer acts as a retreat point now for the red team. They can reinforce off it and get some health regen as well. No match in a fight against the Baneblade, but we'll support the infantry to do the work. Maybe get some missile launchers going, lads. Don't see any yet. And these guys didn't get their Cyclone, of course. Might be worth teleporting them onto the rear armor for some Power Fist action. And then using the Librarian to save them, but more of a finishing off move, perhaps. Weird Boy does a nice Warp Vomit. And blue team looking pretty tough here. Got the VP, they've stepped up a bit as well. Baneblade doing a huge amount of work, and it's barely been touched at the moment. Need to get their AV going. Maybe combat stims on the Apothecary to help as well. Oh, he's got Armor of Purity already. which is also awesome. Teleporting in the Force Commander, that wasn't a great idea. But he knows he can just retreat back to the Land Raider. He might have been doing that just to get some vision of stuff. Plague Marines on the field for Centzontotchtin, and we do indeed have a great unclean one. Super unit for the Chaos Fellas. Passively damages nearby enemies, powerful combatant, and has some nasty abilities too. And there's a Swarm Lord. Super unit for Tyranids, providing a speed and reinforcement synapse with some powerful combat as well. Not sure who wins that fight. The Great Unclean One has way more hit points, but the Swarm Lord has vehicle armor. I'm not sure how their DPS compares. It's probably quite similar. Great Unclean One does attack much slower though. The Assault Terminators are in. Storm Shields and Thunder Hammers trying to go after the Baneblade, but it instantly got warp vomited and stunned. Terminators can't retreat, so when they get stunned it's usually big problems for them. The Librarian was able to port them to safety. Force Commander barely gets away. They go down. He's alright. Storm Boy didn't get on him. Scout's also getting very low. It can be a bit of a nuke magnet when you have a Land Raider. And there's like in this case, when there's two armies retreating back to it, potentially. 269 to 170. Oh. Well, Jeff hasn't marked the Land Raider as a retreat one. I think it should. Anticor's on the field for 24. Don't think he's lost a single squad, has he? Well, most of the players haven't lost a squad. Jeff dropped his scouts along the way somewhere. 269 to 156. Really good preservation by pretty much all the players so far. Really impressed by the Sentinel usage here. Done a huge amount of work. Apothecary getting suppressed by the looters, and also the Baneblade will suppress you as well. Medical Sergeant just died. Or Medic. I don't know why I sometimes call him a Medical Sergeant. Just a medic fella. Swarm Lord is down. Great Unclean One, Marcus Inch, Dreadnought, and the Plague Marines helping to do that. 262 to 156. Termagants flee the terror of the Great Unclean One. Is barely taking any damage here. Piluco does have Venom Cannon Carnifex. Might be worth getting some Death Spitters up. Baneblade is taking some damage now. What do we got? We got a Las Cannon, we got missile launch attacks. These guys with their Thunder Hammers, of course. There's more missile launch attacks back there, I think. I saw the indicator, yeah. Widow has double missile launcher. Jeff does not have a specialized weapon, but he does have Las Cannon and another Devastator up. Baneblade goes down while I was rabbiting on. Terminator's got it done, I guess. Oh, and there was Veil of Time Las Cannon as well. Completely missed that. I hope it was on the screen for you guys. Antigor Strike. I'm not sure what that was aiming at. Oh, Terminators are being super aggressive. Must know that it has the gate available. Yeah. There's Gate of Infinity from the Librarian. Never leave home without a Librarian if you have Terminators. Those guys are able to teleport away. Thank you, says Piluco. Not sure what happened. Nob squad on the field for SchmusCriminal now. Couldn't quite bash that gen, but they got the node down. Crippling Poison on the Sorcerer. How is this Dreadnought doing? He's almost level 4. Done really well. There's some Nurgle Vomit. Everything backs off here. Piluco's next purchase quite vital, I think, on that side. Although maybe it's time for Centzon to rotate towards the mid a bit. Oh, did he say thank you because these guys capped? So he didn't have to commit forces to do it himself. That might have been it. Bunker goes down. He has some flash gits with blasters. Very good against heavy and super heavy infantry, which is this entire force over here, basically. Force Commander is level 6. He's done well. What about you, Mr. Lord General? Level 3. The Guardsmen are still only level 1 and level 2. And it's hard to kill Marines sometimes and get XP. Happy to lead the force here. Widow, see what's going on. Teleports in. That awesome disruption. Force Commander goes down though. And there's that Knob Squad. These days they start with power melee, huge choppers, which they're keeping for now anyway, because it's extra damage versus the heavy infantry types. But the hammers are still amazing because you get that momentum buff. There's over there. Gets smited and suppressed, and a Rocks using the Land Raider Death Trap, the Retreat Death Trap, also a rocket run. Little bit of friendly fire there though. Rocket run may have knocked some stuff out of the rocks there. I don't think anything was wiped. Maybe. An orbital thrown in now. 4 guardsmen. One of them was wiped, I believe. Yep. Other one barely survived. And here comes another. Oh, it's a Stormlord now. Stormlord on the way. 196 to 142. And you can reinforce off a Stormlord. Also got really good anti-infantry damage, especially against heavy infantry like these guys. Heavy infantry really don't like it. And maybe he can be a bit more mindful now of those Assault Terminators and the Veil of Time Las Cannon fellas. Is it double Las Cannons? No, these guys have Heavy Bolter. More Plague Marines for Centzontotchtin. Look at the float. He just can't, he just doesn't have the population to spend more resources. 194 to 142. That shooter boy died. I don't think SchmusCriminal cared about him anymore. What is Piluco going to get? It's floating quite a lot of resources. I think he's just got to focus on, obviously, defending the VP and the power. Don't try to make progress up that side. It's going to be really tough with Centzontotchtin's army. Level 3 Lictor Alpha. Mekboy comes over to get the cap. And they get the west side though. Land Raid has barely been scratched because it's been kept quite far back here. These 2 Sentinels still doing work. Plasma Cannon almost finished this guy, as I said that. Both level 3. It's another Swarm Lord for Piluco, really? And there's this guy, who's level 4 now. Double Plague Marines, and of course the Great and King one. That Swarm Lord is going to be in trouble, I think. I probably would have got, as I said, the Death Spitters. Because then the Plague Marines aren't very useful against them. Neither is the Marco Zinch Dreadnought, and they can shoot down the infantry and the Great and King one quite effectively. It's very hard not to get the big units up though in tier 3. You feel like you need to like make an instant impact with something. So Orks getting through on the VP there. 2-to-1 cap for the blue team. 111 to 140 on the VPs. There's that Stormlord with the Vulcan Mega Bolter on the front. Just pouring out DPS. Can't get on the VP yet though. Some scouts just got wiped by a mob of Orks. Force barrier makes them angrier. Force commander came to the wrong neighborhood, got shot to death. Jeff jumping in, that could be a really bad place to jump to. Blasters opening up, and a bunch of melee Orks. Oh, those are Vanguard veterans. And they're gonna die. Super died. I think Jeff got distracted by his Terminators and stuff. He's still not using the Land Raider as a retreat point. Is he scared of nuke bait? How is Piluco doing on the east side now? Looks like he's broken out. For now. This guy did take a lot of damage from the Venom Cannon Carnifex. Blue team retaking the west side now. Artillery spotter flare over there to provide vision. Terminator taking huge amounts of damage. But it should be alright, yeah. Oh, Piluco's coming to the west side now. Just focusing on VPs, I think. Nothing's looking after the blue team's natural, though. Red team are getting a natural back. Bunch of dead Marines over here. More plasma cannon for Jeff. More flash kits for Schmooze. Did you guys get your hammers? Nope, they're keeping their choppers for now. Mekboy's got his Mega Rumbler. SchmusCriminal loves to use this. And that float from the Sorcerer, look at that. Librarian flees. He doesn't seem too bothered by the Land Raider. And sometimes trying to aggressively push against something that you perceive as a threat can make you overextend and not be good in the long run. I think they're playing a good game here, being defensive. There's those flash kits, those new ones. Instantly get in their blasters. 13.75 psychic DPS. Doesn't sound very good, but it's in an area and it's delivered in a big burst. So it's much more effective than that number would suggest. This is why many RTSs and stuff will not tell you DPS numbers, because they can be very misleading unless you have a bunch of other information which isn't very easy or elegant to display. Plasma cannon messing up a bunch of guardsmen. There's that heavy mortar cannon again. Cool effect on that. Trying to brute force now. They're down to 36 VPs. Assault Terminators teleporting in. I thought they were going to go for the cat. There's an Imperial Abyss from Centzontotchtin. Finally comes over here. Maybe he should have been over here a bit earlier. The Sorcerer, I think, is going for the VP. Yep, he's got his Rod of Warp Fire too. And Nob's got almost wiped on that loop. They are still here, reinforcing off the Storm Lord. I guess they can reinforce off this. No, that's a repair bunker. Down to just 15 VPs now, the red team. They have huge armies. But can they get on the VPs? Well, here we go. 1-to-1 cap now. But there are Tyranids through the mid. Swarm Lord using the Leech Essence. Doing well. I think that the Plague Marines are over on the west. Oh, no, they retreated all the way back. Down to 11 VPs. Single cap for blue. This decap was pretty clutch over here. By Piluco. He's got another Carnifex as well on the way with Thornback. Swarm Lord trying to fight the Great Unclean One. I don't think they have a sync kill for this, do they? Would be amazing. Did he get warped out? I think he got warped out by the Sorcerer. Oh, which means he was warped over here. Which is actually a bad place to be, because that's a Nob squad. Great Unclean One's going to go down, I think. Single cap steal for the blue team. Distracted them from the VP. Down he goes, back to the west side. Land Raider making a push. And it looks like the red team are getting a cap off it. Assault Terminator is barely surviving. I mean, they still have over 400 hit points, but as a percentage of their hit points is very low, they can reinforce off the Land Raider, of course. Not going to be cheap, though. 3 VPs for the red team now. A no cap game. There's a single for red. Orbital thrown in. A decent foot of Bork over there as well, I think you saw. Orbital. Might wipe both of those flash kits. No, they got knocked out of it. Oh. The follow-up beam got them. Wiped both of the flash kits. That's one of the best orbital bombardments you'll see. Taking out 2 tier 3 squads. Almost got the Weird Boy as well. Lad's kind of getting shots there. Did the Apothecary update his war gear? Nope. 1-to-1 cap. Force Commander must be inside the Land Raider or something. Yeah, there he is. Just got out. Meanwhile, Carnifex is hanging out on the VP with Thornback, causing all sorts of problems. But the Dreadnought's down. One of the Plague Marines are down. Spawning Rippers to be even more annoying. These guys can turn and try and get damage with the autocannon, but it's not the absolute best AV. It's good. Still a 1-to-1. There's the 2-to-1 for red. Got their natural back. Carnifex left. Swarm Lord did survive. Got back to base. So did the Venom Cannon fella. Now another Great Unclean One on the way for Centzontotchtin. I mean, he did have huge amounts of resources. Finally took some losses, can buy some other things like the Terminators came in. Down goes the Lord General A. Level 9 Force Commander. Level 8 Apothecary. Still holding on to the 2-to-1 cap. Plasma Cannon taking a chunk out of the Stormlord there. Let's go top, says SchmusCriminal. By top, he means... What does he mean? Does he mean this? Top usually means east side on a map like this, but... Yeah, I think he means... the natural VP here. Back to the west side. The Force Commander's trying to hit the Stormlord with his Thunderhammer, which isn't great. I guess he could maybe hit the Mekboy. Sorcerer gets a decap here. Might be worth him getting Vestments of the Warp actually, to make that a bit easier. Because that big could be clutch. He's still got Demon Armor on. Tome of Subjugation is here. I mean, with all of the resources he had, he could have just bought all of the Sorcerer War gear and switched amongst them at his leisure. Maybe that is what he did. He just doesn't have the Vestment of the Warp equipped. Red team are taking west side back. I think, yes. So they're going to have a double. Jeff says can't stop them. There's an orbital. Blue team got the VP. Now they need to run from the orbital. Put them all in the same place though, the beams. So I think the knob's got to be blown clear. Yeah, they are. Full auto on the Lictor Alpha. And that's probably what that stun was earlier that I was confused about. Yeah, Knob Squad got away with 4 models. Meanwhile, west side, it's too late. Blue team got the single. This one, and that was the clutch single. Also the decap here from the Sorcerer. Didn't actually end up holding them off. Did he have to run? Yeah, he had to run. If only one squad showed up, he could have just subjugated them, I guess. Maybe he could have walked the Terminators to him to help him hold that VP a bit. Would have been very risky for those guys though, but what a game. We had a level 5 Mekboy, level 6 Lord General, level 5 Lictor Alpha, the Sorcerer level 7, level 9 Force Commander, and a level 9 Apothecary. Thank you all for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see ya next time.